you know it's what I always wanted. Could never have too many things. Well, you quit kicking me under the table. I'm trying, will somebody make us shut up about it? Can we settle down, please?
Shalom, this is your Ark. Yah is magnified, coming back with another informative video. I titled this video, Is Your State Included in 42 USC subsection 654? But before I tackle this subject, as always, I must state for the record, I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. They're all facts and all truth. Nothing more, nothing less. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so now I'm doing this video because there's a lot of people who are coming over to me asking me questions such as, is their state included in 42 USC subsection 654? They're asking me this question because someone is teaching them that, you know, their state is not included, and the only state that is included is basically the District of Columbia. And they were led to believe that if you don't live in the District of Columbia, then 642 USC 654 do not apply to you, which is far from the truth. So I'm going to break that down for you all can get better understanding of what's really going on and what has taken place. Okay, so now as you all can see, we're going to go straight to the horse's mouth so we can get understanding, or straight to, you know, the source so we can get better understanding of what's being said. So let's go to, as you can see, when you all get time, type in 42 USC code subsection 654. It's going to pop up State Plan for Child and Spousal Support. You can click on that and then go to where it states a state plan for child and spousal support must. Click on the word state. Now once you click on the word state, what pops up? The definition, right? It says D. The term state has the meaning given that term for purposes of subchapter 19. So where did they get that definition from? To find out where they got that definition from, you must go back to the source. The source is 42 USC subsection 1397. So let's click on that. Okay, so now that we clicked on that, it takes us directly to the definition for the word state. State. The term state has the meaning given that term for purposes of subchapter 19, what we just read. So let's click on the definition for the word state again to see if we can get a little bit more understanding. It states the term state includes the District of Columbia, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, and American Samoa. So by reading this term alone, people were taught or led to believe that, you know, when it says includes the District of Columbia, they were led to believe that it only is talking about the District of Columbia. No, the key word in this whole sentence is includes. So in order for us to get better understanding what the word include means, let's go to the definition so we can break this thing down to the fullest extent so we can know what it's really talking about and what's really going on, okay? So let's go to the word include. Let's go to the Black Law Dictionary. Okay, so now as you can see, we have the Black Law Dictionary on the screen. We're going to pick up the definition where it says include. Include means to shut up in, keep within, to confine within, hold as in an enclosure, take in, attain, shut up, contain, enclose, comprise, comprehend, embrace, involve, including may, according to context, express an enlargement and have the meaning of and or in addition to merely specify a particular thing already included within some general words, therefore used. Okay, so now by reading that definition, we clearly get from the definition that the word includes means and or in addition to, right? Or it also basically just includes something that was already there prior to them including it. Okay, so again, in the context that we read it in, it means and or in addition. to. That's it. That's what it means. So the word includes means and or in addition to. So let's go back, since we know that it means and or in addition to, and read that definition again so we can get better understanding of what's being said. Let's go back there. Okay, so now as you all can see on the screen, we have the definition again. We're back to the same definition of the word state. So now let's replace includes with in addition to. It says the term state in addition to the District of Columbia, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, and American Samoa. Okay, so that means that when they say the word state, they're talking about one of the 50 states. Okay, and the 50 states also includes the District of Columbia, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, and American Samoa. Okay, so it's not stating on this document that the word state is only the District of Columbia and the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico and stuff like that. No, it's not saying that. These areas are also considered states, or a part of the state that a part of the state that creates the 50 states. Okay, or also known as a state, or one of the states that create the 50 states, should I say. So now let's go and prove that as well. Okay, let's continue forward. Let's go to where it states the United States, right? It says the term United States, when used in a geographical sense, means the states. What states? The 50 states. Again, the District of Columbia. So now, if the District of Columbia is only the state that they're talking about, then how come it clearly states underneath the United States, when used in a geographical sense, means the states? And then it also means the District of Columbia, or again, in addition to, or it includes the District of Columbia, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, and American Samoa. So now, what are the 50 states, or what is the United States? Okay, let's click on it. It states United States. For purposes of this subchapter, the term United States, when used in a geographical sense, means the 50 states and the District of Columbia. Okay, so if you have somebody going to these on YouTube telling y'all that Title 42 654 is not talking about the corporate jurisdiction state that's bringing you into these courts, then you are sadly mistaken. You're going to go to court and you're going to say that nonsense and you're going to make a fool out yourself. Okay? Stop listening to anybody just telling y'all anything, man, and trying to run hot with it. No, it won't look good for you in these courts if you go in there and do that. Okay? Because as we can see, that the United States has the 50 states and also the District of Columbia. But let's go to another source to prove that as well, because a lot of people don't know what the District of Columbia is. So let's find out what the District of Columbia is before we move any further. Okay, so we're going to pick this up from Title 28, United States Code, subsection 88, District of Columbia. It states, the District of Columbia constitutes one judicial district. Okay? So it constitutes one judicial district over what? Over the 50 states known as the United States. Okay? But don't take my word for it. Let's get some more understanding. Let's pick it up where it says historical and revision notes. It states, this section expressly makes the District of Columbia a judicial district of the United States. Let's continue. Section 41 of this title also makes the District of Columbia a judicial circuit of the United States. Let's continue. Section 11-305 of the District of Columbia Code, 1940 edition, provides that the District Court of the United States for the District of Columbia shall possess the same powers and exercise the same jurisdiction as the District Court of the United States and shall be deemed a court of the United States. Okay? But let's continue. It is consonant with the ruling of the Supreme Court in O'Donoghue versus United States that the then called Supreme Court and Court of Appeals of the District of Columbia, are constitutional courts of the United States, ordained and established under Article 3 of the Constitution. Congress enacted that the Courts of Appeals shall hereafter be known as the United States Courts of Appeals for the District of Columbia, active June 7, 1934, and also changed the name of the Supreme Court of the District of Columbia to District Court of the United States for the District of Columbia. Case law to back it up. Okay? So again, y'all, people are telling you all misinformation on YouTube and want you all to run into these courts and say that the corporate fictional state that is bringing you into the court to collect child support is not underneath Title 42, 654, which is far from the truth. Okay? Which is far from the truth. But not only that, let's continue. Let's get more understanding. Let's go to another source. Okay, let's pick this up at the top. It states, a U.S. state is one of the states of the United States of America. So whenever you see the word that says state, they're not going to label all 50 states. Like, so when you see the word state in Title 42, 654, it's saying that the word state also includes the 50 states, or one of the 50 states of the United States of America, okay? But let's continue. 4 states, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, and Virginia, are officially named a commonwealth rather than a state. The earliest state became on January the 2nd, 1788, and the latest, Hawaii, on August the 21st, 1959. The states are labeled with the United States postal abbreviations, their founding dates, and capitals, right? But let's continue. Hold on. So that's all the 50 states. You all can take your time or go just research this on your own, you know, for those who want to see if their state included underneath the 50 states. But let's continue. Let's pick it up for more evidence. In addition to the states, several other areas belongs to the United States, right? American Samoa Territory, the District of Columbia, which is the seat of the federal government. Is not Title 42 a federal act? Yes, it is. That governs what? The state's actions? Yes, it is. But let's continue. Or should I say, make the guidelines for the state to follow? Yes, it does. Then it says Guam Territory, Northern Marina Islands, Commonwealth. Then it has Puerto Rico Territory. Then it has United States of Virgin Islands, right? So again, so for someone who tell y'all that, don't have a clue what they're talking about, man. Y'all need to pay close attention to what's really going on and get some understanding. But not only that, you know, you have people telling you all to go to court and file your birth certificate into the court. Because if you file your birth certificate to the court, according to them, it's supposed to let the court know that you are a living man. If that's not the ridiculous thing I've ever heard, only thing it's going to do is prove that you are a corporate fiction that belongs to the corporate United States. That's it. That's all. Okay? So now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to a few birth certificates and we're going to see what's different between someone who's born in the District of Columbia, as myself, and someone born in any other state. So let's go there. Okay, so now we're going to go with a few birth certificates, right? Because the same person who's telling you all to go into these courts and claim that the so-called state that your birth certificate has on there is not underneath Title 42, 654 for state plan for spousal and child support, right? It's far from the truth. Okay? This same person telling people to go into court, file their birth certificate to the court, and say this proves that they are a living man. That's complete nonsense. This proves that you are a fiction. This person is easily turning you over to the jurisdiction of the court. Easily. Okay? Turning you right on over. If you go in there and say, see, I'm a state citizen, and you show this documentation or show a birth certificate. I'm a living man. I'm a state citizen. You're going to make a fool out yourself because this is a corporational state underneath the corporate jurisdiction of the United States. So you see what it says, right? At the top of this document it says State of Maryland, right? Hold on. Let's go to another birth certificate just to see if it say the same. This one say, State of California. Okay, let's go to another state. This one say state of Louisiana. Let's go to another state. This one say the state of Texas. Let's go to another state. This one say state of Ohio. Look at here. So all I'm say state of at the front, at the top, right? But let's continue. This one say state of Washington. Okay, which is Washington State. But let's see what it say when you get to Washington D.C. Let's continue. District of Columbia, right? What it say at the top? Government of the District of Columbia, Department of Health, Certificate of Live Birth. Mine look exactly the same. Did you see it say the state of Washington, D.C.? No. Because Washington, D.C. is a city state. Okay? It is the jurisdiction for the 50 states. The same 50 states where you're going to file your birth certificate and say you're a part of. It's in the 10-mile radius of Washington, D.C. People are setting y'all up for failure, man. For failure. But not only that, right? This same person telling you all that the body is the living man. How is that possible when we know what the body is? Matter of fact, since they believe that, let's rebut that as well. I'm doing a lot of rebutting, man. Because this person is running rapid with a bunch of nonsense. How can the body be the legal person, be the living man? How is that even possible? We know what a body is. A body is a corpse. So if the body is a corpse, that means that body is considered a corporation. Because it's a corpse. It's not a living, breathing man or woman. Like this person is trying to make you all believe that. Have you go into court and make a fool out yourself because he don't know the terms that he's using. Okay? So now, let's go to the Black Law Dictionary for the definition of body to back up that as well. Okay, so now as you all can see, we're coming from the Black Law Dictionary again. It states body is a person. We know what a person is. It's a fiction created by law. But let's continue. Use of a natural body or of an artificial one created by law as a corporation. So again, is that not what has taken place once you get a birth certificate and you receive a birth certificate? That's an artificial creation that they add body attachment to, which turns the body into a what? An artificial one created by law, which makes it automatic a corporation. So it's now a corpse. Okay, do you see the word living man or woman on this thing at all? No, not at all. So again, people just throwing things out there, don't have a clue what they talking about, but trying to sound smart, but, you know, dumber than all outdoors, to be honest with you, man. Pay close attention to what's going on, okay? But not only that, that same person also said that you have a right to remain silent in these courts. Of course you have a right to remain silent in any court you go into. But guess what silence means? Silence equates to fraud. So if you go to court and you remain silent, then you admit to the fraud and you also acquiescing to the things that they're doing to you and you're allowing them to do it. Why? Because a failure to speak when you have a duty to do so only equates to fraud. And I put multiple case laws up on that, so I'm not going to go there. But I want to also share a video with y'all, right? Now, pay close attention, man. This video right here is a clip it from the Truman Show, right? Pay close attention to this video, man, and let me see if y'all catch on to what's being said and what's going on. Maybe you ought to know that you are adopted by the corporation. So with that being said, let's go to this video.
Comments are still headed.
What else is on?
Yeah, let's see what else is. Coming to you now from the largest studio ever constructed, it's The Truman Show!
Yeah! Good morning!
Good morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
What if? No scripts, no cue cards.
Morning, Spencer. How's it going?
What if you were watched every moment of your life?
How many cameras you got there in that town?
5,000.
I believe Truman is the first child to have been legally adopted by a corporation.
That's correct.
Did y'all just hear that? Let's go back here one more time, see if you catch on.
believe Truman is the first child to have been legally adopted by a corporation.
That's
One
correct.
more.
5,000.
I believe Truman is the first child to have been legally adopted by a corporation.
That's correct. 5,000.
I believe Truman is the first child to have been legally adopted by a corporation.
That's correct.
Brilliant.
What if everyone you knew was...
Are you a true man? Are you Truman? Make your mind up. So let's go back here one more time. One more time.
I believe Truman is the first child to have been legally adopted by a corporation.
That's correct.
Brilliant. I believe Truman is the first child to have been legally adopted by a corporation.
That's correct.
Brilliant.
What if
If that don't open your eyes, I don't know what will. But that's what I'm going to do for today. For all those who are fighting, continue to fight. For my brothers out here in the struggle, keep your heads up. Don't quit. Don't give up. If you don't fight, you don't win. You know, so everybody that's fighting, continue to fight. If you all need my help, hit me up in my email at yahismagnified@gmail.com. I have more testimonies coming up, more powerful information coming up. I have a lot more to show, prove, and to, you know, put out there for all to see. So again, you all be blessed. Enjoy your day. For all the new subscribers, hit that subscribe button. You know, first time watching my videos, hit the like and subscribe button as well. So with that being said, shalom.